Tape brought to you by the Warlords. See it before it appears in theatres. Now available on demand from your TV provider. The experience is fairly even, age is even. The height advantage goes 1 inch in favour of Jorge Santiago, and a slight weight advantage to the champ.
They've announced that he's going to return the belt to the commissioner, or hand it over for the duration of the fight.
It is all the official formalities here. You see one of our dream favourites, JZ Kelvin, in the corner there with Jorge Santiago. And there is a strap they are fighting for. We will be set for 5 rounds of championship SRC action. Santiago looking to avenge that shock loss when the cannibal Khalidov pounded him out very early in their last contest in a non-title fight. Chance going up for Santiago.
Sengoku Raiden Championships middleweight title match. 5分5ラウンドを行います。青コーナー183センチ、82.6キロ。2007年ポーランド93キロ以下級 MMA チャンピオン。2009年 KSW インターナショナルミドル級王者。チーム KSW。マメード・ハリ
The patented 3-day growth, the cannibal Mamed Khalidov.
赤コーナー185センチ、82.9キロ。初代 SRC ミドル級王者、アメリカントップチーム、ジョルジ・サンチャゴ!
And the belt collector looking to hold on to the strap this time round. He comes in as the underdog in both the betting lines and with the fans, in a bloody elbow poll. 634 fans voted, 58% said Khalidov to win, 41% Santiago to win. The betting lines have Santiago at plus 125, Mamed Khalidov at minus 145. To find the last loss on Khalidov's career, you have to go back to 2005 in Lithuania, and a rear naked loss to Valdis Portugueses. Since then, Khalidov has been in 18 fights unbeaten. It is an amazing record. Michael Chavello, Frank Trigg, and our translator Hans Thompson with you. SRC 12 main event, the middleweight championship on the line. It is the light blue trunks of the champion, Santiago, the white and blue of the challenger, Khalidov. If this one goes down, look for the vicious ground and pound of Mamed Khalidov. Santiago has some wicked submissions, a massive 12 subs in his 28 wins. He's only ever won 1 fight by decision as the SRC middleweight champion. Faking with the backhand there is Khalidov. A tentative start from these two men, Frank. A lot of respect for each other.
They're not going to start off too quick, especially since Santiago got TKO'd last time. He's going to pick his space and try and pick his spot.
Went for a jumping knee. Khalidov locks onto that single. Santiago may be trying to turn it into a guillotine here.
He's got it tight. He's got it locked in there.
Can Khalidov pop out of this one? And the cannibal is out of there. Throws the right hand on the break. Gets on the inside of the right hand from Santiago, turns him around against the ropes.
This is what Santiago wants. He doesn't want to be in a standing stand-up battle with this guy. He wants to try to get it to the ground, or at least make him tired. The only way to do that, if you can't take him down quickly, is every time they get inside is put on simple submissions. Make him fight out of submissions all the time. Takes a lot of energy out and slow him down a little bit.
Khalidov, who had some words to say about Santiago. Santiago came out after their last fight and said that the win by Khalidov was actually the result of a car accident, which pissed off Khalidov. Khalidov came out and said, no matter how many times we fight, the result's going to be the same. There was a little bit of smack talk between them, Hans.
Yeah, just all at the pre-fight presser, basically in that vein. Khalidov is very confident that he will knock out Santiago again. Santiago said it's a fluke. I'm the champion, and I'm going to show them that I'm the champion.
Santiago, who actually missed weight on his first attempt at yesterday's weigh-in by 100 grams, made it on the second attempt. Is that troubling, Frank, coming into a championship fight, missing the weight on the first attempt?
Yeah, it bothers you, man, because it takes so much energy to make weight. You want to use as little energy as possible the day of weigh-in, because you have to fight the next day, and you have to worry about another, half a pound, a quarter pound. You have to get restarted, get your metabolism up, get your body moving. It takes energy. And you haven't eaten or drinking in a while, so you don't have that much energy to begin with.
Santiago, who has been training like a demon from all accounts at ATT with Thiago Silva, Jay-Z and Thiago Alves. Former Strikeforce middleweight Grand Prix champion, of course, back in 2007, Jorge Santiago. Also fought 3 times in the UFC, going 1-2. A win on debut over Justin Levens. Losses to Chris Lieben and Alan Belcher. Double leg here from Khalidov, then goes back to a single. Under 1 minute 20 remaining in the first round, set for 5 in this championship match. And they go to canvas with Santiago inside the half guard.
Good takedown by Santiago. Smart movement. Countered a double leg to a single leg attempt. He moves himself around, just sidestepped and body drop basically. But it was all off of somebody else's action. He used his own action, used his opponent's actions against him. So it worked out. Mamed got caught in the middle of, I think I have something, but now I don't. Now I'm on my back and I'm caught in half guard.
When he mounts in here, Santiago. Trying to pass, goes to side control. Now back inside the half guard, and Khalidov locks down that left leg, not allowing Santiago another attempt to pass. 30 seconds remaining in the first round. The cannibal on his back actually says that he doesn't like that nickname. Mamed Khalidov came out and said, I don't eat people. Why do they call me the cannibal?
That's the cool thing about nickname in mixed martial arts. You don't get to pick it. The fans are your corner, or the promoter gets to pick your nickname, so he's kind of stuck with it now.
How did you get Twinkle Toes?
A Japanese fan was like, I like the guy with the twinkly toes, and it stuck. That was in '99.
Santiago looking for a late Kimura attempt there. End of the first round, 4 more remaining. Trick vision, how did you see it?
I got to be honest with you. I got to give it to Santiago just because the real main piece that happened in that whole round was the takedown. And then from that point on, he was in either half guard or full guard pass. So got to give it 10-9 to Jorge Santiago. A little bit of the action from earlier. Good spinning back kick, but if you see Santiago, he's stepping away. Now, I don't know if he knew the backlet kick was coming, that spinning back kick was coming, but he knew how to step away from it so he couldn't catch him. Right here at the end, he's working on a Kimura, he's working on a submission attempt. I have to be honest with you, if there was a little bit more time in the round, I think he could have hunted it down and got a hold of it. This is a bad position for Santiago to be in, is on his feet. The good position is for him to be down on the ground, past the guard. Even if it's in half guard, he has a better position of winning. He doesn't want to get in a stand-up battle with Mamed. And I think if Mamed's smart, he's not going to let him take him down this time. So keep it at a distance, try to make it a kickboxing fight, pep him with some shots, hoping looking for that big knockout blow.
It is the main event here of SRC 12 from the Kokugikan Arena in Tokyo. 8,000 strong on hand on HDNet. Don't forget, check us out online, hdnetfights.com. Our full schedule is there. Lots coming up on HDNet, including King of the Cage action, Dream, K1 Max, K1 Heavyweights, XFC, and a whole lot more. The view you'd get if you were a bird here at the Kokugikan, as we are ready to roll into the second round of 5 of an intriguing contest for the middleweight strap. Snappy jab from Khalidov. We've seen a very brutal edition of SRC tonight with some devastating knockouts. We are pleased to say that a report has come through from backstage. Armbar Kim is okay. He didn't have to go to the hospital. They brought him around backstage and he is A-okay, no injuries.
Kanomata also is doing okay. He was brought to the hospital, but they said he's lucid, he's talking, so.
Always good to hear no permanent injuries on any of our fighters. Just faking with the left hook there is Mamed Khalidov, then fakes with the right hand. His guard is wide open, and I'm surprised that Santiago doesn't step through off the back foot and maybe just try and plough his way up the centre with the right of his own.
One of the positions that makes you scared is when you got a guy that is a good striker, that all of a sudden he drops his hands and opens them up. Almost he's inviting you to take a shot because he's going to slip and then counterpunch. So you have to be real careful. It's not that you can't do it, but Santiago definitely needs to pick his spot well to make sure he does land at least. And the smartest thing to do is to punch him in the chest, because that way it's going to back him off and then go back up to the head.
Prior to losing to Khalidov in November last year at Sengoku 11, Santiago had finished his last 9 opponents, including Jeremy Horn, Trevor Prangley, Logan Clark, Kazuhiro Nakamura, and of course the Kripaka hitman Kazuo Masaki. Just drops that left hand into the lower rib cage. Khalidov in the top position. You wonder if, looking at this fight so far, if there is truth to the words of George Santiago that his loss to Khalidov last time out was blamed on that car accident and on him not being thoroughly prepared, or did he just underestimate the cannibal?
He could have underestimated it, but I do think too that this round this fight at least, he's definitely much more prepared. Even though Khalidov is doing a lot better job of controlling the pace. Santiago tried to take down, ended up on his back. He's attacking from the top. If the round stops right now at halfway through the second round, you have to give it to Mamed. He's the one that ends up winning it. Now, if you hopefully here in a little bit, Santiago will start getting a little bit better pace. But at the end of this round, I could quite easily see it as being a split fight to this point.
Ooh, Santiago threw the legs up. Don't forget, he is a BJJ black belt under Ricardo Laborio.
He's a good BJJ guy, keeping his back off the mat, turning to his side, always staying on the side, hip and hip. Attacking that arm now. If he gets his hands locked, we're in trouble here. On top, Santiago with good position.
Just rips it out.
Jeez, wow.
Lost his mouthpiece pulling it out there too.
The referee saw it. Not going to spray that one in. Straight back in. A few germs on that one.
Don't worry, it's fine. By the time the germ set in, he'll be back home.
Did you see in the audience earlier on? I saw a foreigner spark up a cigarette in the audience. Never seen that before.
A little strange for me too.
Yeah. He apparently didn't notice all the people smoking like chimneys outside because they're not allowed to smoke inside.
The smoking haven that Japan is. When again that Sakuraba style flying pound into the guard there from Mamed Khalidov. 1 minute 20 remaining in the second round of 5. As the chants go up once again for George Santiago. Goes to his feet, does Khalidov, trying to find a better position to work some ground and pound. And he flies into the guard once more with that right hand.
On a guy like Santiago, it's going to be hard to pass his guard the traditional way. You're going to have to punch him, get him stunned a little bit to get his legs down to really get past him. The only way really I can see him passing Santiago's guard is by doing that flying Sakuraba style, jumping into the guard. And he went to pull out, left his arm behind him. Now he's getting caught in omoplata. And he's got his far leg caught too. You see, he's.
Have a look at George Santiago here. Can Khalidov get out of this predicament? He is all tied up like a pretzel here, Frank.
He's got his head caught, his leg caught, and his arm caught.
That was like a demented game of Twister, and somehow Khalidov gets out of there. 15 seconds remaining in the second round of 5. First real submission attempt we've seen from George Santiago. One more salvo left. No time. Into the second. We go to the towels. Trick Vision, your call.
Man, that's a tough round to call. You got the takedown of Mamed. You got the submission attempt by Santiago, but you got the submission, defense by Mamed. I mean, this is a tough round to call again. But I'm going to have to give it to Santiago another 10-9 rounds, so it's 2 rounds and none in favor of him. Even though he was put on his back, he did spend most of his time on his back. Pretty much everything that happened to him, he defended. You saw that flying jumping hand in there, he defended, and immediately as soon as Mamed tried to come out, this was really slick. He keeps the arm, switches into omoplata, but you can see on the right side of the screen, his toe hooks up underneath Mamed's ankle and catches his leg too. So he has his leg, his arm, and his head all caught in one position. And that should have been a submission. It should have finished the fight, but That's just the, to this man right here, he ended up getting out of it, rolled out of it, and got out cleanly. So, but I still have it 2 rounds of none in favor of Santiago.
Jay-Z Calvin giving the instructions to George Santiago, along with the rest of the crew from American Top Team out of Coconut Creek in Florida. Mamed Khalidov, originally from the Czech Republic. His family fled to Poland after the Chechen War. A devout Muslim is Mamed Khalidov, who doesn't train during the Islamic holy month of Ramadan.
Yeah, it's almost impossible because you can't eat certain times. My brother is Islamic, and he wrestled in high school and was having to wrestle in the state tournament at the same time and couldn't eat. He had time to eat 1 meal at night when the sun went down.
Ooh, a spinning back kick to the midsection, known in karate as Uchido Geri. Thrown there by Mamed Khalidov to kick off the 3rd round. Face with the right-handers, Khalidov. Got long arms on him as George Santiago. You can see him probing with the jab, looking to set that right cross.
If you guys can hear here, George's corner is actually shouting at him both in English and in Portuguese.
It's tough enough to think in one language. I don't know how guys can hear in both languages out there.
The question is, how many languages, Hans Thompson, do you actually know?
That's the real question.
You are the human Rosetta Stone. All tied up against the ropes. Knee to the midsection, missing the target there for Santiago. Khalidov just drops his weight down momentarily. Drills a knee, belly button through the back. A lot of action in this body clinch here. Good knee from Khalidov off the left leg. They tango back to the center of the ring. Khalidov gets the takedown. Turns back into the guard. Khalidov, top position. Santiago on his back, 12 submission wins in 21 victories, 8 knockouts. As I said earlier, has only ever won 1 fight by decision at George Santiago. 10 submissions for Khalidov with 9 knockouts. 2 men who know how to finish. Back to his feet. Nice kick to the shin there from Santiago. Khalidov looking for a way to get back into that guard, and he went for a stomp, which is legal under SRC rules. Soccer kicks are not. Stomps are permitted. And inside the guard he goes.
You see, both guys have slowed down. Exhaustion is starting to become a factor. Even though Santiago is still using great technique, he's off his back a little bit. Not completely off, he's still turning to the side. But it is giving Khalidov a chance to sit there and rest, keep his head down his chest, and not have to worry about getting hit or getting submitted. He can get a break here.
Few fans complain that they'd like to see soccer kicks implemented back into the big Japanese mixed martial arts promotions like Dream and SRC as they were back in the Pride days. I don't agree though, frankly. I'm glad they've taken soccer kicks out of the repertoire. I think it's a dirty technique.
I don't think it's so much dirty technique, but it's the one technique you have to worry about fighter safety. And that one is really tough. When you're able to soccer kick a guy in the head, he's so undefensible that it's dangerous for his brain, for his mind, for his cheeks. There's a lot of damage can be done. I like stomps, but I'm in agreement.
To me, soccer kicking is like a street fighting technique. Anyone can do it. You don't have to be trained to throw a soccer kick.
Well, remember how the fight, the whole reason why mixed martial arts started was to be as close to a street fight as you could possibly make it. So you still have to implement some rules that keep the fighter's safety. I don't like soccer kicks just because I think there's too much damage can be done. And I agree with you as well. Anybody can soccer kick. My 1.5-year-old in the house can soccer kick. But to stomp a guy in the proper position is very difficult.
Khalidov trying for a submission attempt momentarily. A little more active in this round is Mamed Khalidov, 3rd of 5. Leads him with that right hand again and goes back inside Santiago's guard that the champ closes. Good right hand to the side of the head from Khalidov. Hasn't found the free range with the ground and pound that he did last time out in November. Up kicks here maybe for George Santiago.
Well, especially since, Khalidov's not grabbing his ankles. He's not tying his feet up. He's in a position to get caught.
How about that? Spinning back kick. Looking to get into the guard.
Jeez. If that had landed, that would have been a fight finisher.
Would have been heel to jaw. Inventive stuff here from Mamed Khalidov. I've got him winning this round so far, Frank.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got the takedown. He's put all the pressure in the guard. He's hit all the strikes. He's now passing through a little bit. He's not getting all the way past the guard, but he has landed punches.
We said earlier the phenomenal ground and pound game of Mamed Khalidov. Now we are seeing that repertoire come into play here in the third. Best round of the fight so far for the Chechen fighter. Locking up that arm momentarily, Santiago, but again Khalidov just violently rips it out. How will he get into the guard on this occasion? Khalidov doesn't want Santiago to meet him standing up. Not giving any room here for Santiago to return to his feet. End of the third round, and definitely that round going the way of Khalidov.
Yeah, absolutely. 10-9 him. 10-9. Definitely Khalidov. 10-9, definitely, for sure. And the thing is, too, is that it wasn't just because, you know, both guys were as active as the other guy. It's just he was in a better position to be active. He pushed the pace early. When he got the takedown, when he gets the takedown, he eventually lands up on it. You see this back-spinning foot stomp, basically trying to come into the guard, and then immediately keeps his hips in and starts punching. Now, he doesn't, as you notice, Santiago's just too good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to let him all the way past, but he's now getting more peppering shots. He's getting inside a little bit better. He's getting a lot, it's a lot easier for him to land these punches that he has. You see, the first strike missed with the leg, the first punch missed, the second punch hits, the fifth punch hits, the seventh punch hits. So now he's finally getting through a little bit more. That picked up the pace. He had a lot more pressure, and it was a much better round in this case. I have it 2 rounds to 1 in favor of Santiago, but obviously the tide is turning. Now we find out if the weight cutting is actually coming into a factor. This is where it becomes in. The later the rounds get, the harder it is to cut weight. The more in shape you have to be to maintain that weight. And you're going to find out how well did he recover from cutting that weight, if he has the great stamina to come through after he cut that weight, and if he's fully back to 100%. Because if you lose just 2% of your athletic ability, by the time you get to the final rounds, that guy's 6% better than you. That's the difference between first and sixth.
An intriguing contest here for the middleweight championship. 2 rounds to 1 is how we are seeing it unofficially in favour of Jorge Santiago, the defending champion. But Khalidov seems to have momentum on his side, definitively winning the third round. Michael Chavello, Frank Trigg, our translator Hans Thompson with you. All part of SRC 12 here in Tokyo. Can Khalidov continue with the momentum? Santiago comes forward, nice stiff jab. Tucks the chin, looks through the brow in a more boxing stance to Santiago, whereas Khalidov's a little bit more straight up in his stance.
A little bit more Thai, a kind of, you know, a little more kickboxing style like Kuwait too. But, you know, Santiago obviously wanted to punch too, was looking for the clinch. He's not looking to really knock a guy out. He's looking to get him on the ground, pass his guard, submit him. I mean, that's more of his style, more of his game, but it's tough. You know, when you got ring posts and ropes to worry about, it's tough to get a guy down on the ground.
And it's tough with your cheek pressed up against Khalidov. You've got to watch out for the stubble rash, which is always painful. And there you go. As Frank was saying, looking to pass the guard here, Jorge Santiago. Trig Vision saw it before it even started to happen. I'd go for a Kimura on that far arm. Far arm bar. Jorge Santiago looking for a submission attempt. Khalidov seems relaxed here. And he's out of it.
Definitely didn't panic. Most guys in that position would have panicked.
Khalidov power. Puts Santiago on his back.
Geez, that defense, he has a submission defense and a reversal back in, back in the takedown. So now we're basically back to neutral for this round. You know, so now who's going to win the round? This makes it very difficult for fights like this for the judges.
Santiago on his back, foot on hips, off the right leg. Now closes the guard. Trying to control that vicious right hand of Khalidov, who looks to pop out. Big right hand, there it is. That's not what Santiago wanted. Now back to this position we were in for most of the third round, where we saw Mamed Khalidov continually explode into the guard with that looping right hand, also with the turning back kick attempt on one occasion. But this time, surprisingly, he allows Santiago back to his feet.
He's getting tired.
Oh, and he got clipped with an uppercut and a straight right hand. Best punch of the fight so far from Jorge Santiago. Balk right hand from Santiago.
You can see the exhaustion on him. That's why he wasn't chasing Santiago to keep him down. And he made a mistake because now he gets hit 4 times when he stands up again.
Muay Thai clinch and a couple of knees going for the headache maker. Awkward position here for Khalidov, and now he turns back into him. Trip takedown, nicely done. Explosive stuff from Chechnyan.
Right when I thought he was going to get pushed around the canvas, he put Santiago back down on the mat.
Does that equalise, Frank, the striking work that Santiago just did?
Yeah, we're back. You keep looking at it from a judging standpoint. What guys ahead? Someone's got to get it. Someone has to have 10. Someone has to have 9. You have to. You can have a tie if it goes back and forth. But right now, to me, the round's tied. It's a 9-9 round, which favors Santiago because I had him winning the first and the second, so that helps him out. Obviously, Mamed needs to win. He's got to win this round. He's got to be able to get himself back in the challenge to be able to win the 5th round.
Pops the head out as Khalidov. Still plenty of time for either man to go kleptomaniac and steal the round. As Santiago's got that right arm tied up of Khalidov. Khalidov elects to hit him off the left. And Santiago's going to look for something on that right arm. Trying to wrench it free. Under a minute remaining here in the penultimate round, 4 of 5. There's the right hand, couldn't get any power behind it though from Khalidov. Second attempt and third had a little bit more mustard. And it's Khalidov who's trying to steal the round with his flurry. Nicely done from the Chechnyan fighter. Drills another right hand to the jawline of Santiago. That was a good little spurt there, Frank, from Mamed Khalidov, and a couple of hammer fist strikes.
Wow, he did a great job. I was waiting for to see if he got all the way past the guard or not. That's the round stealer. That right there, if nothing else happens in the next 12, 13 seconds, then that's the round stealer. It's 10-9. And that's a big deal because now all of a sudden we're looking at 2 rounds of 2. And we go into the 5th round in an even fight. Who's going to win?
I agree. 1 round remaining. 5 more minutes of championship action for the middleweight strap. And Frank, I'm going to agree. I've now got a 2 rounds Khalidov, 2 rounds Santiago, the final deciding round. Let's talk coaching. If you're in the corner, first of all, of Jorge Santiago, what are you saying to him?
Throw punches, throw at least 4 punches in a row. I don't care if it's if it's all one-sided or whatever. Throw 4 punches in a row, close the gap, get inside, tie him up. As soon as you get him tied up, try to get him to the canvas as quickly as possible. Just get the takedown to score in the judges. You can't, on the other side, keep space, keep him away from you. Keep using your hands every time he tries to take you down. Put him on his back. So if I'm Mamed, I'm going to try to counter every takedown, put him on his back so I can get ground and pound. You see
Frank,
here,
on the flip side, what do you tell Khalidov to do for the last 5 minutes?
I want Khalidov to be looking up to do as much possible damage as he can from the outside, trying to use his hands and his feet on the outside. If he gets in a position where he gets taken down, make sure he lands on top, or at worst, the very worst, he lands in a position where he's scrambling back to his feet. So the takedown, even though he does get taken down, he's not down there forever. He wants to get back up again.
And having a look at these 2 guys in the corner here, Frank, who do you think has the better cardio going into the final round?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. Earlier, I thought it would have been Khalidov, but after that last round, the way it looked, I have to give it to Santiago. He's the better cardio. But now it's going to be who's tougher, who's got the more mental game to play with.
This MC they have here tonight, Hans, actually sounds very sumo-ish, doesn't he? The way he's announcing it, those long, drawn-out cries.
Well, normally they have an English speaker do the English parts, but this time they had a Japanese guy doing it.
5th and final round. Under 5 minutes remaining to decide the SRC Middleweight Championship. Santiago goes to town with that right hand. He threw the cross, then the uppercut. The 2-4, as it's known in boxing terms. 2 being a right cross, 4 being the uppercut. 1 the jab, 3 the hook. Long-reaching jab from Santiago. And you're right, Frank, it is Khalidov who's breathing heavy through his mouth here.
Khalidov in that first shot was looking for just place to rest. He was trying to get that leg trip to find a way to rest on top of him.
Shoots him for a double. Stuffs the takedown to Santiago. Moves to a single to Khalidov. Still can't get the takedown on the champ. Santiago thought about pulling the head down into a Muay Thai clinch but gave up on it. Throws the right hand down the center again. Good straight punching here from Jorge Santiago is working effectively. There's the Muay Thai clinch, a knee now from the champ, and Khalidov drops onto his back. He was getting owned in the stand-up.
But both guys, it's almost like they switched personalities. I mean, this is amazing to me because really, if your corner should have told you, look, it's tied up, you have to put yourself in your best position. Santiago obviously is because he's in better shape. But Mamed isn't doing anything that he should be doing. He gave up a takedown. He's now losing this round. What's he going to do? He's got 3.5 minutes to try to pull this victory out.
Jorge Santiago try and take that left leg out, go to the half guard, then maybe try and pass.
Santiago has to remember too, the judging in Japan sometimes is very questionable. So he could be winning this fight. He could think he's winning 3 rounds to none, but he needs to put a definite exclamation point on this final round. Win it definitively so that the judges have no choice but to give you the victory.
Ooh, bucks him off nicely. Does Khalidov. Now he's in the top position. The seesawing continues.
We're back to even in this round.
Looking to loop that right hand to the jawline, Khalidov, but he's a little blind to it at the moment. The corners are keeping their charges informed as to the clock to see who might try and steal it in the final stages of the round. Looking to posture up again, Khalidov, and work that right hand. That's to pass and go to the left side of the body of Santiago. Santiago trying to put him back inside the guard. Foot on hips to keep the distance. Ooh, and he looked to lock up the left shoulder. Muay Thai clinch, high knees. And a high knee from Khalidov. Still going at it. Seesawing, little cut over the eye. Spinning hook kick, nicely done from Mamed. Khalidov didn't connect, but it will draw the judge's attention.
Yeah, and that's at this point, in this kind of fight, you want as much judge's attention as you can. It looked like when he stood up, I thought he was grabbing his mouthpiece, like he got his mouthpiece kicked out of his mouth, but he didn't. It's from the cut. So now the judges are also going, well, he got cut open, so this is another negative effect against him. It's a very difficult round to call, especially when I have it tied up for both guys. Pops out as he's sitting up, you see him, boom, he gets kicked. It looks like he gets kicked in the neck. Oh, he was playing with his mouthpiece. I thought that's what it looked like in live action. He was messing with his mouthpiece trying to shove it back in again, but he's got a wide cut. I didn't see exactly when the cut came in.
Now the cut's in a very awkward position. It's on the inside of the nose, right to the corner of the eye, right where, just outside of the eye where the tear duct may be. I don't think it will necessarily run into Khalidov's eye. I think the doctors will say he's okay to continue here. If it was more on top of the eye, it'd be very dangerous. If it was under the brow, it is just above the brow now, come to think of it, so it's not really too dangerous for Khalidov. The blood will run more to the eyebrow and on the inside of the nose. He'll be okay here. But can Santiago possibly open up that cut? 1 minute 40 remaining. The final round of this championship fight. Very slow on that overhand right. Khalidov. Opportunity for some knees to the thighs here for both men. These are two tired warriors. It's Santiago who gets the corking knee to the inside left thigh. Rips away to the body. In that little exchange, indeed, Santiago tried to remain busy.
Yeah, he is. Santiago's a lot busier. He's a lot busier right now. And that's like I said, scoring points in the judge's mind.
Setting the right hand down the center here, Jorge Santiago. There it goes. Just clips him on the jawline. Not enough starch behind it to do any real damage. And they're backed into the blue corner with 45 seconds on the clock. You feel that Santiago, as Frank said, has been the slightly busier here in the final round, which means there is now 35 seconds remaining for Mamed Khalidov to try and steal it. He's got a flurry. He's got to go for broke. He's got to put the foot down.
If he's got any energy right now, he's got to do a good flurry in the last 25 seconds to steal the round to win the fight.
Jabs from Khalidov. Got to throw the right hand. Got to throw the knees on the inside. He's got to get to the inside. 10 seconds remaining now for Khalidov to flurry, but he gets caught with the right hand from Santiago. Uchiro Gary turning back kick to the midsection from Khalidov. High right round kick off the back leg from Santiago, and that is all.
Tough round to call, but I think the slight edge of Santiago. Let's see what the judges say. But I could be honest with you. I mean, in all full disclosure, I can argue any way they call this fight. I can make an argument either one of these guys won. I mean,
very true. I could argue for a draw, but then again, as our EP Daryl Ewott will tell you, when you're the champion, you've got to be beaten for the title.
Correct.
So Khalidov's going to step up a couple of paces to beat the champion to take that strap.
Correct. I agree with Daryl. You know, I agree with you. I think that's a big deal. And you know, he got cut. You know, so that's going to back him out. And he got attacked, and he looked horrible. You know, the end of the fourth and the end of the fifth, he kind of looked really bad. And he's catching these knees, and I think that's where the cut came in, was from one of those knees in the middle of that melee right there.
Now, Khalidov did throw some good strikes, Frank, but that didn't land. Those turning kicks, the high kicks, couple of knees we saw there, right hand, nothing landed for Khalidov effectively.
No. They looked great, and maybe if they had been glancing lands, then maybe they could have got a lot more in the judges' favor, but because they missed entirely, most of them missed completely, that they're not going to be any good, and they're not going to score much. And he knows, you can tell by his posture, he knows it.
We are thinking it'll go to Santiago by the slimmest of decisions here. Hans, can you take us through the scores?
48-47 for George.
It is close.
Judges. 48-47 George.
And there you have it, George Santiago retains the SRC middleweight belt.
Sounded like all three of them said 48-47 for Santiago.
Every judge just had 1 point in it. George Santiago not only retains the belt, but has avenged that shock loss to Khalidov last time out. He scales the ropes.
Do we see a rubber match with this one now, because it was so close? I mean, this one was only 1 point difference.
Good call, Frank. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
Let's each have these guys. You know, let's have Santiago defend it against somebody else. See if Mamed can win and come back through, and if he does, then have these guys fight again and a couple more shows.
Frank, if Khalidov is watching the tape of this one when he gets back home to Poland, what do you think he's looking at, shaking his head, thinking, I should have done that better?
Train cardio to be in the late rounds. Realize it's going to be a 5-rounder. Be in better cardiovascular shape, and realize in the early rounds that I could have stolen the first 2 rounds if I had used more jabs, more front leg kicks, if I had used a little bit more time of trying to set stuff up instead of just blasting away at it. He really got pushed around the first and second round. That's why he lost those 2 rounds.